Alright, so today's video is gonna be very raw, uncut, and the audio is just gonna be from the camera itself because I want this video to hit that way. And as you can see, yeah, a different environment. I just landed in Vietnam like 5 days ago. I look like trash, apologies, but yeah, still jet lagged. Anyways, today's topic is very simple. And as I said, raw, no guts, just me, really just speaking for myself here and just having like a solo conversation. So if you find this valuable and you relate to it, nice. Um, Today's topic is why didn't I start my own clothing brand yet? And the most simple answer to that, or the simplest story to that, is that I was the victim of pick a skill, pick a group of people that you can help, provide that help or service to them, right? I was that victim, right? Or I'm not gonna call that a victim, but I was that kid, right? I was that kid that didn't know what to do with his life and just wanted to make some money online. And somehow I stuck to like this clothing brand market for very long. And if you know me, you know me. Like we do brand scaling. I don't want to promote that shit here at all. But we basically do branding, content, marketing, all that stuff for clothing brands. And yeah, I was the victim, and maybe still am, honestly. Don't get me wrong, like I'm enjoying it so far. It gets hectic sometime when you have to repeat yourself, take this working infrastructure, apply it to this brand, apply it to this brand, apply it to this brand, and you have to repeat to yourself because some brand owners, they're just stupid, and maybe that's you. You're just starting out. You're a kid who wants to have his own clothing brand because he saw it. You saw it somewhere on TikTok or whatever the fuck, and that's fine. But sometimes it just gets tiring, when brand owners, especially when they pay you upfront and then they don't listen to you, and then they blame that shit on you, that it was your fault. But like, bro, you paid us for advising and doing stuff for you, and you still went and done it your own way. You fucked up our systems, and now you blame it on us. Like, yeah, like, luckily we don't get that many brands coming to us anymore. We try to avoid those type of people. But what I'm trying to say is that yes, there is a clothing brand. There are designs, that are in play. We're gonna be releasing some stuff this year, and I'm quite excited for that because I realized that I don't give a shit about this brand scaling, because a lot of brand owners, when we talk to them, they ask me, okay, you know about this brand scaling stuff and all that shit, but why don't you apply it by yourself? Why don't you have a brand by yourself? And I didn't really had an answer to that question. I was just always doing this brand scaling and bullshit stuff. And looking back, you need to have some capital when starting any sort of e-com brand, because you need product, right? And you just need some upfront capital. And when I was starting out, I didn't have like any money, so I just learned a skill and provided it to people. And also, I didn't want to deal with like shipping, fulfillment, and stuff right now. But now I'm like, okay, I don't give a shit about helping, the competition. And heck, that's why, like, look, if you're gonna be here, I'm releasing like a 4 hour plus entire A to Z course on how to, go from design sketch to the actual drop day, and how to retarget people after the drop day. And no, it's not me telling you, oh, run ads, oh, do influencers, oh, do this, do that. Like, I actually show it to you. I actually show like what buttons to click, and all that stuff, like how to click a button, right? And why to click a button. I'm not just gonna tell you do ads, do emails, blah blah blah, because you heard all that shit already, right? And I don't give a shit about giving it to everyone, because I'm like, every brand is different. Well, if the person behind the brand owner is like an actual artist, then the brand is gonna be different. But 98% of brands are gonna be always the same, and they might survive for like 3, 4, 5 months, like a few jobs, and they just keep doing the same shit over and over again. They're not creating new shit, and they're like, why am I stuck? Because, bro, you don't have a movement, so that's why I don't give a shit about giving it all, because I'm like, I know when I start my own brand with my team, I already have the multi-stack skill that I've learned from working with various different brands. I've already had a grasp of the entire industry. I know, like, I'm a creative person, and I know how to creative direct a campaign. So I'm like, I can use all of that leverage of that skill to create my actual own shit. And you might be like, isn't it better to sit behind a computer, fucking run ads, put some creatives on, test them, check the numbers, kill an ad, run, like, prepare like an email campaign, design like an email campaign, sit behind computer all day, like doing this stuff repeatedly, like taking that repeatable template infrastructure and putting it into every brand and making it work. I realized throughout working that I'm not that type of a person, because when you're creative and you do a lot of repeated stuff, repeated infrastructure, it starts to get to, it starts to trap you into the box, right? And you sort of limit yourself in this box of doing the same thing over and over again as a creative person, and you don't create new stuff because you're stuck, right? Your inspiration is stuck, your taste is stuck, your skills are stuck, so everything you create is just gonna be ass, right? Now, don't get me wrong, I enjoy working with brands, right? I'm still gonna continue be doing this while building my own shit, start to build my own shit on the side, because I just know, especially in Czech Republic where we live, I want to scale there, locally, because I know there, Czech Republic compared to like to the US, UK, France, Italy taste and fashion movement, I know that the people there are behind. And since we work with a lot of global, these cultural ahead countries, then I know that I can bring that being ahead from that global impact to our local impact, and I know that we can beat the market there from the most part. Plus, again, the extra skills that I've learned and developed with my team, but by working with brands throughout the period. So again, if you want to be doing brand scaling and you're just starting out, right? I hope this helps someone. If you're just starting out and you have no capital, again, I'm not trying to sell you on this bullshit, but yeah, the most non-capital way is to just learn a skill, pick a group of people that actually need help within that problem, and that they're having, and you have the skill to solve it to them. Start there, right? Down the road, you might want to start your own stuff, or you want to keep running this, it's called service based stuff, right, where you provide services to people or coaching. Yeah, either or, then you go ahead and start your ecom brand. And you might be like, hooey, but like, isn't an ecom brand, because of the expenses, cost of goods, shipping, yeah, again, producing the clothes and all that, less in terms of profit margin? I mean, overall, yeah, but we're humans and our behavior changes, our interest changes, and throughout, me personally, as a creative entrepreneur, I've went through quite a few businesses, really not through it till the end, because there's this type of entrepreneur where, you know, he really does this for the soul and the paycheck, and then there's this you know, business owner who just does it for the paycheck, which is fine. Both is fine, right? And me personally, I tend to connect on a personality character level with the business itself, and if it doesn't align of what am I personally interested in right now as a person, then I don't give a shit if the business is just making like hella money or some shit like that, because my, it sounds cliche, but my soul won't align with what I'm trying to create through this business. So then, even if you make a lot of money, you don't feel fulfilled sometimes. You don't feel like the actual achievement, because you're like, yeah, I'm making money, but like, is that it? Is that all? You know? So that's what I've been on my mind. That's why I didn't start my own clothing brand yet, because again, one is that we have a lot of brands that we have to take care of. Two is that we're in the process of like designing our own shit, a collection that is not just clothes, because, you know, fuck, you know, the whole, this whole, you know, generation is changing, and, you know, we tend to take care of our environment, so we want to add some, you know, accessories, even like interior design stuff, to add onto like the clothing, because we don't want to be just like a clothing brand. We want to expand all around that sort of vibe, you know. You might be seeing a few brands, high-end brand, luxury brands, even streetwear brands like do this, where they are expanding out of just making like clothing, right? And they're adding more to their image by creating different pieces that sort of add different dynamic to the clothing collection itself. But yeah, that's why I didn't start a clothing brand yet. I wasn't able to sleep till like fucking 5 a.m. in the last like few days since being jet lagged, and I've been just thinking, I'm like, bro, do you actually like this brand scaling stuff? Now don't get me wrong, I like creative directing stuff, right? I'll still be doing that for other brands in regards of content planning, branding planning, stuff all around that, because that, again, that's the multi-stack skill that is not being repeated, because every band is a bit different, every design is a bit different, they have a different story or direction, so I can always go in and creative direct a different campaign for this brand, and then it's gonna look totally different with this brand. And so whereas with like ads, emails, and all this technical stuff, it's always like a copy pasting. You always do the same thing for this brand, you always do this for the same brand. And again, don't get me wrong, again, there's, as I said, entrepreneurs that do this for just the paycheck, and they like this repeatable infrastructure. They like predictability in terms of this copy paste type of, you know, workflow thing, right? But some people are not like that, and that's what I've been really realizing about myself, is that I don't like that sort of copy paste, you know, type of structure where you're just sitting all behind, you know, your computer, and you're just doing the same over and over again and getting, you know, higher money, making more money, making more money. It's like, okay, all right, you know. That's why I want to still stick to like this creative direction thing, cinematography thing, filmmaking thing, sound design, music production thing, all around, you know, world building stuff, like, you know, vibe building stuff and shit like that, because it's not repeated. And again, thanks to me like working with different brands, I get inspiration from this brand, I get inspiration from this brand, I get inspiration from this brand. I take a bit of learning curve of what I created directed for a brand, or how the brand owner thinks about their art, and then I can take that approach of thinking and see if it aligns with me, and if I can take that thought process, creative direction process, into my own brand in the future, right? So again, it's just taking these tiny inspiration, working with different brands, stacked skill. Besides, you know, the money making part, I'm talking mainly about the, you know, yeah, creative direction part. But yeah, if it's either of you, if you're watching this as a marketer doing some things for brands, content creator doing some things for brands, or a service provider, coach, whatever the fuck, I don't care, doing some stuff for other brands, and you've been feeling like you should start your own stuff, rather, like really like market mainly your own product, then maybe it's worth trying it, right? If you've been lacking sleep like me lately, maybe there's some I don't know, like a God's work thing that really is telling you that, bro, you should try that. Like, you've been fucking sleepless, maybe you should actually go ahead and try that shit, the stuff that you've been sleepless about. Maybe there's something to it. Okay, that being said, I'm not gonna discontinue this brand scaling stuff. It's just a matter of time, maybe a long time, and maybe you're gonna see like the YouTube stuff shifting as well, because I'm in Vietnam and I want to check out some, you know, while I'm here already, I want to check out some fabrics, because if you know, Vietnam and Asia is kind of developing right now in terms of their economical status. So while I'm here, I want to check out some fabrics, do that type of stuff, that, and document that. Maybe someone, you know, will find it helpful. But yeah, if you're either, you know, if your one demon is fighting with the other demon, and you don't know, as the demon's owner, you don't know which demon is really like, I guess, suitable to you, then just go with what feels right. Right? I think logic is one thing, but also trusting your gut feeling and your emotions, that's a sort of, you know, energy thing. Anyways, less philosophy, psychology happening. I hope this was somehow clear, helpful, and yeah, I'll see you in a more edited video. Let me know if you actually like this type of, you know, just me yapping into the air video. Peace out.